Hey guys, we finished up the Harris Chain first Bassmaster Southern Open of the year. I'm currently on Lake Eufaula. I left this morning. I've got one day to kill before the Smith Lake Pro Circuit event starts. So I figured I'd drive to Lake Eufaula, which is basically in the middle, and do a little driving around, try to acquaint myself a little bit more with this lake. I haven't been here for several years. I've been here twice before, but both of them were a while ago. And I figured this would be a good place to come to drive around a little bit, so we're doing that right now. And I thought I would give you a little background on what happened at the Harris Chain tournament before showing you some of the video from the event for day two. So it, it went as planned, I guess, from the standpoint of I never really found much during practice. I spent my entire practice looking in Harris and Little Harris, basically graphing for shell bed, wood, good grass, anything I could find. And it turned out that the grass was sprayed. I never found any good grass in Harris. I found there's definitely grass, but most of it is dying and looks terrible. And a lot of the shell beds that I've caught fish off of in the past were like silted over and decaying matter. So I kind of feel like all that dying organic matter was just really covering in a lot of the shell bars that I've caught fish off of in the past. So that kind of ruined that. And I had one or two that still had some fish on it, two specifically. The first one really, well, the first day I wasn't able to fish because the wind was really blowing in on them hard. So on day two I headed out. I spent some time over on that bridge and in that general area trying to get some bigger bites, and I never had a bite. I never had a bite doing that. So then I went to some hay grass. I caught 3 small keepers, and then probably around noonish I went to the shell bars, started running a bunch. I had, like I said, I had one that I knew, 2 that I knew had fish on them. And I was able to catch a couple of keepers to fill out my limit. On one, my co-angler actually caught a 4-pounder off of that one, so I know there were some good fish there. And then, yeah, we ran a couple other spots. We went and looked for bedding fish. I actually found one pair. It was like a 12-inch male with like a 2-pound female, but I spent an hour fishing for it because the female had a tag in its back. And you know, some of those tags on the Harris Chain are worth hundreds of dollars. So I figured, hey, my day's not going so well, maybe I can catch a tagged fish. And she was showing a lot of interest in my bait, so I tried for her, never got her to go. Went back to running some shell bars. I was able to get on the other bar that I knew had some fish. We caught a pile of fish. We had several doubles. We probably caught 10 or 12 fish off of it. 2 of the ones I caught a 3-pounder and a 2.5, which cooled me up quite a bit. So yeah, that was great. Then I ran to that topwater fish that I missed on the first day. And unfortunately, you guys aren't going to see this because I had an 11-hour tournament day, and my 256 gig card in my SD card only lasts for like 8.5, 9 hours. So in the last 2 hours, I was able to upgrade several times, and you're not going to get to see that, unfortunately. But I went back, I caught that topwater fish. It was pretty awesome. I threw in there and he hit it 3 times before I was able to hook up with him. So I caught that fish, ran to a couple other things. But when I was fishing for that topwater fish, 2 of the bites I had were so fast back to back, but on one of them I made a really bad cast. I got a backlash on the cast, and my cast landed 20 feet short, and I got hit as soon as it hit the water. So I kind of thought there might be 2 fish. Well, I went back to right at the end of the day, threw the topwater in there again, and I had a fish swirl under it twice in a row, and then that was it. Didn't get anything more, so I ended up throwing a general in there in June bug, and my co-angler ended up getting hooked up with a small fish, and he was trying to swing it over the dock, and the fish got stuck on the dock. So I left my bait out there, and I was trying to help him get the fish over the dock, and when I went back over there, I picked up my line, and I see my line zinging off to the side. It ended up being like another 3-pounder. So I got two fish off that spot. Ended up the day with 13 pounds, 10 ounces, which was 2 pounds better than the first day, and it moved me up from 60, I think it was 65th, it moved me up to tied for 40th, which is the last check spot. And I ended up losing the tiebreaker because it's one day, single day biggest bag, and the guy I tied with had a 14-pound bag one day. So yeah, that wasn't super cool, but it was a good finish. When you think there's 223 boats, I finished 41st. That's not a bad finish. It's just a bummer not to have gotten paid. From a point standpoint, it's like, it's good enough to make me want to fish the last two, but it's also not good enough to make me think I still have a very good realistic chance at making the Elite Series. I mean, it's definitely doable, but I figure I'm gonna need 2 top 10s at this point. But I've got some fish catches here for you guys to watch. Those
Boat 202, Oliver Knight.
look like walleye boats.
Gotcha. Matt Steffen, 203. Brianna Tucker, 204. Gotcha, Brianna. Trevor McKinney, 205. Gotcha. Jared Turnbloom, 206. Yep. Chancey Walters. Yep. David Gadsden, 208. Come on around that one.
203.
Bailey Buttress, 209. Gotcha, Bailey.
5:45? Okay. Can I get an extra hour?
10.
6:45 maybe?
5:45.
Ready to rumble?
Last one. Not what we want to keep today.
No. No. Junk.
Yeah, they're fat. Just barely a keeper.
Eyeball stage will be more of a cloud. Those were like actual little minnows. That's a long one.
Oh my God!
break it?
Yeah. I'm brave.
I'm brave.
I'm brave.
I'm throwing in.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You need it more than I do.
I don't think there's any shot in hell he bites. But
Look at that. That was my knot. Catch him for me.
you want your hook back?
Has it got it?
I don't know.
Damn.
No. This is a ugly looking fish.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him.
Thanks.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. You're
That is
welcome.
a legit pound and a halfer. That should be bait all screwed up. It's not.
A good one.
Was it?
Looked like it. No.
He's got it.
Decent fish. Just bleeding.
There's the big deal. He ain't big.
Barely got it too. Fat.
Trying to make me feel good about a 12-inch.
A little bit.
He's
Is it-
chunky. He is fat though.
He is fat. It's your limit fish.
That's 12 inches.
What gets me is like somebody that never fishes walks up to you and just starts talking.
Yeah.
And they're like, so, you catch carp? I'm like, huh?
It's that or they instantly want to give you spots.
Yeah, and you're like,
You're
no,
like-
no, no,
you're
no, no,
like, I can't. And then they look at you like you're a jerk. You're like, I can't talk fishing. I can't get help. Well, I'm just saying
no.
that there's a tractor on the shore. You want to fish in front of the tractor, and you're like, I can't take help.
You're like, no, 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 no.
It's like people just don't they just have to tell you what's on their mind.
Oh my God. Got a boy. Oh, I might pull that one. Maybe.
But he's fat. I mean, he is.
Let me see.
He's a little better.
Go!
They've got one shad in him.
Yeah, one or two.
I'm gonna start calling. Wish that.
My lips hurt. My bottom lip's been burnt crisp. Every time I like go to stretch my lips, it just rips, cracks and rips. You're like, ugh. Me and Billy were standing up on the bank talking yesterday, Billy Metzner, however you say his last name. That's it. good? Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
you're good.
I thought that was buried in me.
I did too. I looked down and your fish was about to jump out. Cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
Yep. God, they're fat.
Yeah, these are chunky.
Thank you for letting me use that. That's exactly where I got it. Maybe 3/4 of a pound.
3/4 of a pound?
I mean, pound 3/4.
Maybe. I don't know. They're fat. They're hard to tell when they're fat.
Oh yeah. That fish made my rod hit me in the mouth. And I set the hook straight up like that, and it went BAM! Dang. Man, I don't know what it is about these little seagulls.
Dude, I don't know why we can't get any big fish on this stuff though.
That's the only reason why I hate these pants.
What?
They collect water.
Dude, they look like they drive pretty fast.
I mean, it didn't help me much, but it helped a little.
Pretty little bit. That was not a terrible one. A lot of times you teeter and you're like,
Why am
that
I
one-
teetering?
That one was more than.
Yeah, it was like chink.
That was a good ounce probably, or 2 ounces heavier.
You ever had to do that and then like that made you win a little bit more?
Teeter? I always teeter. I don't know. I don't ever go back and think about it. That's a controllable that you should do. I even do it if my board says I'm, like an ounce apart.
You still.
I still do it a lot of times. Like right now, calling a 1-3 for a 1-2 doesn't do me any good. Like, literally no good at all. But, in the other tournaments,
That might be
Yeah.
$1,000. That one feels real good, don't it?
feels better. He's not huge, but it's gonna help me. He's not that giant. I got him snagged, but it definitely got him.
Outside the mouth.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Good job.
That's a good one. That's a chunk. Barely. That's a good one. Thanks for following along. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Like it, share it on social media, leave some comments if you have some thoughts over the video. But thanks for watching.